Hi, I'm Charles Band, and welcome to Full Moon's Videozone. I hope you all enjoyed Hideous. We had a blast making this movie, working with Mark Rappaport's weird puppets, a wonderful cast, and shooting the whole thing at our studios in Romania. Coming up next from Full Moon is another movie I just finished directing called The Creeps. The Creeps is a story about 4 classic monsters and our own sort of unique way of bringing them back to life. You'll have to check this out to see what I'm talking about. After The Creeps, we have Subspecies 4. Subspecies is really the final chapter of the Subspecies saga. Then we have Curse of the Puppet Master, which is basically Puppet Master 6. It is the craziest, wildest puppet master of them all. There's a new puppet in there called Bombshell. I can't tell you too much more about her, but you'll see it when it happens. And beyond just the Full Moon movies, which are going to come out every 60 days, we have a very exciting new line of action figures. After years of trying to make this happen, starting in November of 1997, we will have 2 releases, Blade and 6-shooter from the Puppet Master series, and every 60 days thereafter we're going to have some really cool, really neat action figures from all the Full Moon movies, whether it's Subspecies or Trancers or the Puppet Master series or new things that we're making right now. So look for these action figures in your local collector's stores, comic book stores. I really hope you enjoy them, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video zone.
Alvina, call up Mr. Lazar. Tell him he may have something really hot coming in. Just hold on one sec, and I'm going to show you something that'll knock your socks off.
Open the box.
She's sneaking behind my back with that gauche, undiscriminating collector of medical garbage, Napoleon Lazar. How can I continue to do business with this dishonest woman?
I say, if you can't beat him, join him.
Don't move, little froggy!
This is your new home.
So what do we do now?
All 4 of us take a little ride over to Locus and get back your goober.
Does the baby look like he's looking over at Lazar? Yeah. Okay.
Charles Band returns to the director's chair for the first time since Prehysteria to mastermind this strange story
Really gooey.
of science gone awry.
Okay, and action! All right. I wanted to direct Hideous because of several things. One, it was designed in a very contained setting, a show that could be shot at our studio in Romania. Having now, having built the studio and been in Romania now for 7 years, shooting pictures like Subspecies and Trancers and many of the Moonbeam shows, I had never had the experience of, directing in my own studio. I mean, it's weird, but I thought, gosh, maybe in the beginning of the year I can slip away and get away from the office. And I mean, I enjoy all the stuff I do, but it's nice also to get behind the camera again. In the case of Hideous, there were certain elements that I wanted to see designed in there, starting with using some of the sets that were on our sound stages in Romania. There's an interior castle set which has been changed somewhat, but is standing on 2 of the 3 sound stages at our studio, and I designed this movie and had it written for those sets. We have a wonderful relationship with Benjamin Carr. He's written many of our scripts, and I mean, the title came first anyway, as it usually does. But I think being a collector myself of comics and comic art, the idea of 2 crazy collectors who are both vying for these bizarre medical oddities, getting eventually trapped in a house, the medical specimens, these weird creatures, come alive for reasons that are explained in the movie, and then all hell breaks loose. I just like that sort of confined setting. I like the black humor, and I like of course, the way Benjamin wrote these wonderful characters. All 6 of them.
Get off! Get off! Hold still, kid!
We had this potential to go really big and bold and be crazy and chew scenery, and add this whole new meaning to the term dinner theater, because we could really chew scenery. It was great. In fact, there's the one scene when we walk into my castle where we have that wonderful castle scene. We're all sitting around ready for this interrogation, and it looks right out of a theater piece. It is so cool.
Ah, come on, Doc. You're too smart to play dumb.
You see the cast of characters here? You know what's going on.
Of course.
It's interesting when you build a character because she is sort of my alter ego. I mean, she's a very evil woman. She's, you know, sort of, I took a little tiny piece of my multifaceted me and created her and just blew it up about 500%. And I didn't like her very much. She was a really nasty person.
You're fired. You're fired from everywhere. You're fired from the fucking universe.
Well, I'm glad to see you're enjoying your little sandwiches at $160 an hour. If I wanted a thinking receptionist, you'd be working at Burger King.
I gotta pee.
Don't let us stop you. You are so good. Everybody teased me on set because I would not shoot a frame without wearing my fragrance. And my roommate is a perfume designer. And when I described my character to my roommate to create this fragrance, you know, I said she's a sex addict, alcoholic, power hungry, money hungry, chain smoker, and I gave basically all the things that I think Belinda is. Like I'd walk in my whole do and this massive bouffant and my attitude and this whole thing and with a scent, and it was very empowering. I felt very strong and evil, and you know, it was fun. It was a lot of fun to play her. I'm such a diva.
Alvina Shaw. She was the comic relief, definitely, of the movie. She just doesn't have any brains at all. She's a ditz, but she has a heart.
Yeah?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Her character, I mean, I still watch some of the scenes and laugh because she's just so, you know, right on, and she's, you know, she's a wonderful actress.
The fun thing about Rhonda is you never know when she's putting you on as the character, or if she can be really that way. There's wonderful moments, like you'll say something like, oh, it's going to be so great, and we'll actually get to hear the Romanian tongue, and she'll say things like, what is the language they speak in Romania? And you say, well, Rhonda, it's Romanian. It's a language, Romanian. Uh-huh. Oh, they speak Romanian? Yes, Rhonda, they do. They really do. And of course she's putting us on. I hope.
I'll never tell, no. I didn't want to play just the typical dumb blonde. You have to get specific about it. And I guess you can say through my years of studying and stuff that I've developed sort of this sort of character. So I've had her, actually, for years. And you just sort of, you know, you get to explore with the people and the other cast and just sort of let it go. So I kind of had her. Maybe not named Alvina, but I've had her.
So what's with you and the doc, anyway? You were like raised by wolves or something, he found and educated you?
No. I answered an ad in the Sunday Herald. Doc was looking for a personal assistant. You know, someone to clean the castle, take care of his specimens.
When I read the script and I read the scene with her walking topless with a gorilla mask on, I totally wanted to be her. So.
Why is that?
Because she's crazy. And I like it, you know, because sometimes in real life, you feel like you want to be crazy, but you know you shouldn't, or you might get in trouble. And I love finding movie roles where I can be crazy the way I want to be, and it's okay, because it's just a movie. It's not real life, right?
Maybe at the end of the day, if people remember nothing about this movie, they'll remember Jackie in the gorilla mask, topless. I like to claim that was a last-minute inspired idea, and I called someone up and said, let's get a gorilla mask and Jackie. How about playing the whole scene topless? None of that is true or the case. This was written in the script. This is a Benjamin Carr weird notion, and when you read it, it sounds funny and amusing. I think, God, that's gonna be a wild scene, especially it was like 0 degrees. So I'm thinking, you know, Jackie's got to be a trooper to, you know, get through this and do take 4 and take 5 and take 6. But when we finally got to the set, and of course the gorilla mask was brought over from Los Angeles, and you know, she comes out and she puts the mask on, and she's there bare-breasted with this gorilla mask. It's like, this is a great piece of film. I mean, this is one of the strangest visual moments, I think, in any movie.
They all came back from that shoot talking about Jackie with the head out and the walk, and I didn't get to see it. They played on the monitor, but I wasn't there. So when I saw it in the film, you know, even as built up as sometimes, you know, a joke is or whatever, it was hilarious.
Gotta admit, you are pretty cute. With the vest and the hot pants and stuff. You know, most women would be a bit uncomfortable seeing company dressed like that. But you pull it off nicely.
And like the voice of, not reason, but the voice of the audience, like, you know, of the cynic, of like, you know, This, somebody says in the film, this is not normal, and I go, oh, well, there's today's understatement.
That's right, move the head.
Good, both ways.
Okay, cut. All the creatures work real well, and as a group, they look pretty gross and hideous.
Porcupine baby, huh? How often do you see one of those discarded, huh? You got the blemness, which is great. It's almost like an acne condition, a blemness. We also have, of course, we have the two-headed baby.
The most unique, probably, if you look at it, is double face. I mean, no one's ever seen that quite before.
And our little favorite, of course, Hulk baby.
I love the idea of this kind of muscular little deformed guy who, at the drop of a hat, anything goes wrong, he starts crying. He's basically a crybaby.
He looks so sad. You're like, oh, how sad.
I fell in love with Hulk Baby. I mean, I had this rapport with Hulk Baby and his baby blues,
He was also the most articulated one. He's the one that moved the best. And life is a compromise. You only have so much in an effects budget, and you can only spend so much money on each puppet. Instead of watering down the budget, I figured let's at least put most of the dollars into the mechanics, the articulation of one puppet, and that was the puppet we chose.
I mean, these creatures are so out there, but brilliant. I mean, Mark is, to me, one of the top special effects people on this planet. I mean, he's really amazing. And these creatures were phenomenal to look at. I mean, they really had personalities of their own, and they were all, obviously animatronics. So when the puppeteers made the little Hulk baby cry, you felt for it because it had so much personality.
They're really, really unique and special.
Good fucking riddance. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
The little guys get away because any movie that does well enough, we make a sequel to. There's no secret to this. I hope, and the way I look at it is each movie's a pilot. If it works and people like the movie and there's good response and it rents well and we get letters, then we'd like to be able to go into a part 2. And sure, if Hideous is well received, these little creatures can come back. They can find other hideous little deformed mutant guys, and there can be a whole family of hideous guys. Then we'll do the action figures and we'll just expand the universe.
It's like Clue meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
They can expect to step inside the mind of Charlie Band and go walk in his world for a little while. Right?
What kind of world is that?
Freaky.
Deformed, devious, depraved, hideous. Another terrifying addition to the Full Moon Collection.
In a hidden laboratory, a scientist gone mad has created a way to bring our oldest fears to life. You know their names. You know their faces. But you've never seen them like this.
If memory serves, I was significantly larger.
You see, we need a girl to bring you all up to normal size.
We four shall find this girl. We nightmares, made flesh, shall walk the night again.
God's most desolate creature.
From Full Moon, the creators of the Subspecies trilogy, comes a new tale of the undead.
Vampires are the spawn of many bloodlines. Some are monstrous creatures forced to hide their faces from society. Others are beings of age-old grace, walking freely through the world of mortals. A fate of endless nighttime, and endless hunger for innocent blood.
She has the gift.
For me, there is no comfort, no rest.
I've initiated you into the mysteries. There is no one to hear you. No hope of rescue. No possibility of escape.
You're becoming reckless, Ash. You're jeopardizing everything.
A vampire slayer.
Frightened, Master.
You are no match for me. Keep moving. Soon enough, you will beg me for deliverance.
The Vampire Journals.
For more information about our films and to be added to our mailing list, write to Full Moon Pictures, 8721 Santa Monica Boulevard, number 526, West Hollywood, California, 90069, or visit the Full Moon Pictures website at fullmoonpictures.com.